Hello and welcome to 5 Minutes with Sean, maybe 10. I'm excited about today because it has to do with SOS. And no, not that SOS, but Shiny Object Syndrome. That's right, I said it, Shiny Object Syndrome. I believe it is something that can be cured. I believe it is something that is an epidemic. I think all of these things are true, but the reason I think it is because I believe most people make a decision based in impulse and are rarely shopping based on need and shopping more on want and think about the purchase before they think about the implementation, before they think about the next steps. And I have been guilty of this in the past. I try not to anymore because I have put it at the top of my mind, knowing that everything that I'm being told is probably a sales pitch, and most of it probably will not work. Now, I've seen most of it not work only because of where I sit in my position in the industry, and I am fortunate, or unfortunate if you will, to see all of what is mostly disastrous when it comes to new tech, mainly because tech is not always the answer. It's not the answer for you. It's not the answer for me. It's not always the answer. It could be a people and process issue far faster than it can be a tech issue. We're also trying to, we're chasing that magic bullet. We want to, we want to get to the lifesaver as fast as possible because obviously there's one thing that will save the dealership, and it's probably more tech. Obviously, I am facetious in saying so because I don't believe any of that is true. The next best thing isn't going to save your dealership. Now, this one goes out to all of my owners and general managers because having been one, I know what this situation is like. So let's just put it out there, right? We know when you guys have been hanging out with other dealers or at 20 groups. It's obvious. So when you come back to the store, like when I was an internet director, I knew within a second where my owner had been for the last 2 days and if it were a 20 group because the ideas were flowing. Everything that had ever been talked about that worked for somebody else was automatically going to get plugged into my store, and today, right now, it was going to work. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this is set up to go. And I suggest you not looking at it from that perspective. You will only frustrate yourself further if you do, okay? Because you cannot come back to the store and expect things just be implemented and worked on and done just because it was something that you were engaged with, that you saw working. I'm not saying that it can't work. I'm simply saying come back and have a discussion, because when it's forcing people to use things that they know nothing about, where it came from, how it's going to impact their lives, isn't extremely helpful to anyone. Before you go shopping for something, identify what you're trying to fix. Really dive in and understand, why do I want to sign up for this product? Why do I want to be involved? Okay? And then after I decide all of those things, why I'm here, the what, where, and the why of the situation, forget costs, because you guys are going to get rolled over on cost either way, because if you're that into it, you're going to pay for it. I've seen products that were extremely overpriced, people rolled over for within an instant and just got it, all right? So I know it's there. Most of you, when you do this, the other major problem is you will not commit long term. You will not. Had it happen to myself. Okay, I had my client, I had him 5 years. He decided after one day of one answer he didn't like from me, he was going to flip me off, throw me out, and hire all new people. So far, it does not sound like that's working. Emotion is what led him to that decision. I have another client of mine who switched over to a large conglomerate in our industry, one of the largest. They have everything. They can show you the entire customer journey. Guess what? They can't. It's been a complete disaster. But people got excited around nothing, around hype, and then decided to make changes that are now costing them thousands, if not tens of thousands a month. And that's the problem. So keep this in mind the next time you walk outside or you go to a big event or you're at a 20 group and you want to make some big drastic change. Think through why you're here. Think through what you're changing. That's what I want you to consider. That's how we're going to make it better. So, shiny object syndrome, or SOS, can be cured. Take time, understand what you're shopping for, understand how we implement it, and commit long term. As always, thank you guys so much. Dave Lemon, this was specifically a podcast for you given the time of the podcast. You can reach me at 262-278-0157. Sean, S-E-A-N, at carbizdonebetter.com. I am on LinkedIn, I would say fairly daily. And the other networks I am not, but the company is. Any message will get to me. Other than that, thank you guys so much. Don't be distracted, and we'll see you again next time.